Could something be coming during this month in terms of August? Well, at least according to the Chief Business Officer of Dfinity, there might very well be. Let me explain what I mean by this because I saw this recently in a post, but I want to clarify nothing I say is financial advice, and this is just from what I've observed. I'm not telling anyone to do anything. Now, if we take a look at Pierre, which again is the Chief Business Officer of Dfinity, he listed a bunch of things in a very long post. He was talking about what happened in July and all this, but it was kind of boring because we already kind of know that. But the real McCoy was that below all that, he said, and the special announcement, question mark, he said it's signed, sealed. However, keep in mind, this could be something pretty massive because even Pierre said himself that he can't say more yet. And also on top of that, he said it's worth the wait, whatever that means. So what could this be? If we just kind of want to talk about some hypothetical possibilities just for the sake of it, right? For the entertainment value and just to kind of speculate a little bit, because it's sometimes a little bit fun to talk about what could they very well be announcing. Now, I think one of the main possibilities is probably, let's say they announce an enterprise client for either the upcoming launch of Cloud Engines, or should I say an already signed like client, let's say, when it comes to Cloud Engines, or not, let's say a large enterprise or a large institution that has partnered up with Dfinity. That could be a very strong possibility, in my opinion. That's, I think, my first kind of hypothetical, I guess, possibility. But a second theoretical possibility could also be that they found a backer, like a very large entity or something like that, that's willing to back multi-DEX, which is their upcoming DEX. That could be something too. Or let's say they have a new partnership in regard to the DEX. That could also be maybe something. Or not, let's say even a new product launch. That could be a hypothetical possibility just because, again, they're planning to launch Cloud Engines quite soon. They're planning to launch multi-DEX. So if, let's say, soon they're going to be announcing a new product launch, wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. It already fits the theme of what they're trying to do in 2026 anyways, and that's launching products, it seems like. Because you don't go launching something like multi-DEX or hoping to launch it and then hoping to launch something like Cloud Engines and then not follow up with like the third and final trilogy, if that kind of makes sense. It only just seems logical to me. There are trilogies in movies, and I don't see why not here. So again, I don't know what it could exactly be, of course, because they haven't mentioned it, but those are the hypothetical possibilities that I'm seeing just because it kind of fits into the pattern of what Dfinity has done so far this year. Which is so surprising to me because if we take a look at it, this is in 2026, keep in mind. This is not in 2025, 2024, where things were more poppin' when it comes to the internet computer, when things were way better. No, it wasn't. Things are not poppin', actually, as of right now, when it comes to altcoins, generally speaking. And the internet computer has only recovered, what is this, around 1% in the past 24 hours. I mean, come on. It's still at around $2. The all-time low is $1.98. Hasn't really done much. But Dfinity, they're not really focused on hyper retention anyways. It seems like this year they're focused on improving their fundamentals, and it looks like they're doing exactly that so far. Now, people like to say, well, isn't it really bad that the internet computer is at around $2? Well, it really depends how you take a look at it, I suppose. I can't speak on anyone's behalf, though. But just kind of my perspective is I don't mind things being low. So if I see something low, and then I see how, in the case of the internet computer, it's around 4.5 times away from where it once was in November of last year. So that wasn't even a year ago. If I take a look at that right there, I'm not necessarily worried or concerned because I've seen this at $9 not that long ago. It reached it very casually and quite lazily, it seems like. It wasn't even anything that impressive. But because we're so low, we're around 4.5 times away when it comes to that. So it kind of showcases that, okay, sure, in theory, things could go lower, but also on the flip side, this is already so low compared to where it once was last year. And last year wasn't even that good anyways. That's the thing. But yeah, besides that point though, people like to tell me that, oh, Pierre, he's making this stuff up when it comes to an upcoming announcement or whatever. No, I mean, I don't really think so, just because when it comes to Pierre, he is the chief business officer when it comes to Dfinity. So I highly doubt he's going to be doing pranks or, trying to make random jokes and whatnot when it comes to this. It just doesn't really make sense. He doesn't have a track record of doing that type of stuff. But I also would like to say that, again, he hasn't revealed what it is. Probably it's kind of secretive, totally understandable, but I'm just saying he doesn't have a history of kind of, doing that type of nonsense, if that kind of makes sense. Like, some other projects out there, they say they're going to be doing this or doing that, and then they're like, oh, we're just joking. Again, I don't get it. Why some other projects do that. It makes no sense to me. Why would you do that? I don't get it. It literally makes no sense. In a pure hypothetical, the equivalent would be like, let's say a salesperson when it comes to like a car or whatever, and they're like, oh, inside there's 20 PlayStations or whatever. And then you go there and then it's like, there's none. Why would they do that? It makes no sense, right? They wouldn't be doing that type of stuff, I would assume. So when it comes to this space, again, Pierre does not have a history of doing stuff like that. But yeah, besides that point, if they're looking to launch maybe, let's say, a new product, wow, I'd be pretty happy when it comes to that. But if it's not, it is what it is. But at the same time, I'm really looking forward to what that could be. So only time will tell. But I'll be sure to keep everyone updated, and hopefully y'all stay tuned for future upcoming videos. I want to say thank you so much for watching.